Well, hello and welcome to the channel. This is Primal Diet Advice, and on this channel it will be Primal Diet Advice. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's free. You can ask me questions in the comments about the video, the topic at hand, or another topic pertaining to your personal situation. Because one thing that is happening now is there's a lot of people, there's a handful of them, and they're out there. They're charging for health consultations, either for like their own version of some diet or the primal diet, and it's I believe it's not very helpful, and you really shouldn't have to pay for that. I guess maybe you want to want someone's time, whatever, but I believe it's disingenuous and it lacks integrity. And Agonist was always about integrity. He would not, he wouldn't become the Marlboro Man to sell cigarettes to people because he felt it was wrong. So you got people like, delivering fast food to people while they're out talking about how to live your life, and they're going to yell at you and say you're a dumbass if you eat a baked potato with butter, which is actually can be part of the primal diet too. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on there, but I just wanted to make this channel to give people some other perspective, and then provide insight into the minutiae of the primal diet, because in the primal diet it was designed initially by Agonist for Agonists, and then eventually he helped other people with their stuff and learn more things. And then that's when he wrote the books, and then he started doing his workshops and Q&As and things. So, there's one good example is like the watermelon question. So when Agonist says, he doesn't eat the center of the watermelon because it has too much sugar, it makes him feel bad. He isn't telling everybody to not eat the center of the watermelon. So this is the minutia I'm talking about. People are taking, Agonist's specific case and body and then trying to apply it to everybody, which isn't really helpful, because I believe most people could probably eat the center of the watermelon if they were eating enough fat, just like with every other fruit, and it wouldn't be a problem. If it is going to cause you a problem, you can find out and you can know and then make adjustments. But to just give this blanket advice, it's like everybody is Agonist, is not beneficial, I believe. If you are going to do the diet 100%, then yeah, follow the books, follow the Q&As, query your questions on agonist.online. It's very easy, and or healthfully.ai. Those are good sites, and there's no reason to pay anybody essentially. Because what someone is going to tell you isn't necessarily, the answers you're going to need, because they might be misinterpreting something. You're paying a middleman, and you're relying on their, functionality and their experience, which may not be very long. Like, I've been doing the diet for 4 years, and, there's people who've been doing the diet less, and they're like, oh, well, I'm an expert. It's like, you're not. Especially because, a lot of people have serious problems, and then they're trying to give out this advice, and it's like, if you haven't been through a serious problem, how beneficial is your advice? It really isn't that beneficial. I've had insomnia really bad for 8 months, where I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up 5-6 times a night. It was hell. And eventually, through enough research, I figured out how to do it, how to cope with it, like clay and milk, nut formula. Sometimes when it was really bad in the beginning, I would eat more starches. I'd eat, baked potato with a lot of raw butter. So, you can be 100% on the primal diet, the strict primal diet. That's a good thing if you want to do it. But you don't have to do 100% primal diet if you don't want to. If you're really sick and you're dying, then you might feel inclined to do it. But if you're just trying to better your health, you don't have to jump in 100% at one time. You don't even have to be 100% whatever. It's it's going to make your health so much better, and it doesn't necessarily need to be 100% super strict all the time. If you want to eat a baked potato with butter, go ahead. If you want to make a sandwich with sourdough bread and some beef, a little onion, and some make some raw mayonnaise and some butter, all that stuff, that's great. If that's going to get you eating raw meat, that's good. Because even Agonist said that many of his clients could not eat raw meat They couldn't eat it alone, at least. So he would advise them, integrate it into your pasta, integrate it into a sandwich. You can do this. It's okay. If it's going to get you eating raw meat and you're going to eat butter with your starches, that's better than not eating raw meat. So Agenus never told people to not eat cooked starches or even cooked meat. Like if you're having a really bad detox, he would advise people to eat a cooked chicken breast, cooked in a ceramic or glass pan, baked. So to say Agenus never told anybody to eat cooked food is entirely disingenuous, and you're kind of turning people off from the diet who may need some temporary relief or assistance with things. There's also the issue of being an athlete or a bodybuilder. You need starches for that. You need that fuel in your muscles, in the fat stores. You need that for prolonged, intense activity. There's just no way around it. So eating, 4 to 5 small portions of starch throughout the day are good. You can't rely only on the nut formula, because if you eat too much nut formula, it's going to cause a detox. So again, this is where I'm talking about the minutiae. So yeah, like rice, potatoes, some good bread. Like those 3 starches should mainly be your starch if you're an athlete and you need the starch. Integrate some more fruit. You can have more fruit if you're an intense athlete. And then, nut formula twice a week, but not consecutively in days. I'd probably say like 4 to 8 ounces twice a week, 3 days apart. So, just clearing up some minutia and perspective on this stuff, because a lot of people will say, oh, you need to do that 100%, or you're doing it wrong, and you're not going to get better, your health isn't going to get better, you're not doing it right, whatever. That's just not true. I've seen people who don't even eat like 50% raw meat and their health improves. Like, the more you can improve your diet, any little thing you can do is going to help. And it's probably better that you ease into it, because if you start on it 100% and you've lived not a very healthy lifestyle, you're going to have a lot of symptoms and detoxifications, and that can turn you off or screw you up. I got holes in my teeth, in my enamel at least, because I had a severe acidic detox. It was winter, there wasn't enough celery in the store, my teeth got messed up, my bottom 2 molars on opposite sides. It's I was just brushing one day, and then I just had teeth kind of like tooth, kind of just like chip away. It was really scary, and that happened because I got too acidic. I was lacking on the juices. I was, what can I say? It's just an honest mistake. But those mistakes, like that can cost you. And that's probably a lucky example. It could have been a lot worse. I even got burns on my tongue. That's how acidic I got. But I started on the juice. I got better, within a week. And I found a source for raw unsalted butter, so that helped as well. So in terms of detoxifications, a lot of people say don't force detoxifications. However, if you can afford it, the time, the downtime, and you have put enough fat in your body, you can force a detoxification if you want to. Agenus used to do it. He used to ferment grains and stuff and eat it to get the cooked grains and cereals out of his body. He mentioned later in a Q&A that his older clients, or people who took a lot of prescription pills or medicine, he's like, well, if you do the diet, if I just give them the diet, they'll get better, but it's not going to get everything out, and they're not going to get well as fast. So the only way to do it is to force the detoxification. Sometimes it's necessary. If you're ready to do it, and I would say get some body fat, and I think the general rule is 2 years on the diet. Wait 2 years on the diet, and then you can start to force a detoxification if you need to, if you want to, if you can afford to. It's not a pleasant experience, but for some people it might be worth it. Who am I to say that's not worth it to you? So that's I think, running up on 10 minutes here. It's a lot of information. I don't want to overload it. I don't want to overdo it. So please post some questions I'll respond in time and in a timely fashion, as quick as I can. And if there's new video topics or other things you'd like for me to investigate, I can do that. And this is all for free, of course. For now, who's to say that people want my time for more time, and they want more in depth? I can give that to you. But right now, I'm not putting a price on any of this stuff because I feel there's a lot of misinterpretation out there, like I said. So I want to at least lay a groundwork and kind of explain that, so people can have more insight and equip themselves with knowledge and to make the right decisions instead of relying on, sleazy middlemen or something like that. So I hope that's helpful, and please leave me comments. I look forward to answering them. Thank you.